My daughter's laughter used to fill this house, but now it's just echoes of silence that mock me. I found her favorite teddy bear under the couch today, covered in dust, like a relic of a life we'll never get back. James, my ex-husband, made sure of that when he walked out, taking not just his secrets, but the heart of our little girl, Lily. It was 3 years ago when James dropped the bomb. We'd been married for 12 years. Not perfect, but solid, or so I thought. One night, he came home late, his tie loose, his eyes avoiding mine. "I'm leaving, Sarah," he said, his voice flat as if he were canceling a dinner reservation. I stood in our kitchen, the smell of roasted chicken still lingering, and felt the world tilt. Why, I asked, but he just shook his head, grabbed a suitcase, and left. No explanation, no fight, just gone. I didn't know then that he'd spend the next 3 years turning Lily against me, weaving a web of lies so thick I'd need a machete to cut through it. Lily was 8 when he left. She was my shadow, always tugging at my sleeve, asking for one more bedtime story. I was her hero, her safe place. But James had other plans. He got partial custody, and every weekend she spent with him, she came back a little colder. At first, it was subtle. She'd roll her eyes when I asked about her day or shrug off my hugs. "Mommy, Daddy says you're too clingy," she'd say, her little voice parroting his poison. I'd laugh it off, thinking it was just a phase, but the words stung like paper cuts, small but cumulative. By the time Lily was 10, the distance was undeniable. She'd stopped calling me Mommy, switching to Sarah like I was a stranger. I'd find her texting James late at night, her face lit by the glow of her phone, giggling at secrets I wasn't privy to. I tried to talk to her, to ask what he was saying, but she'd clam up, her brown eyes, my eyes hardening with suspicion. "He's my dad," she'd snap, as if I were the villain for questioning him. I didn't know what he was feeding her, but it was working. My daughter was slipping away, and I was powerless to stop it. I tried everything. I baked her favorite chocolate chip cookies, took her to the zoo, even signed us up for a mother-daughter pottery class. She'd sit there, molding clay into lumpy bowls, barely speaking. I'd ask about school, her friends, anything to bridge the gap, but she'd answer in monosyllables. "Fine. Okay. Whatever." Each word was a brick in the wall growing between us. I'd lie awake at night, replaying every moment, wondering what I'd done wrong. Was I too strict, too soft? Had I failed her as a mother? The questions gnawed at me, but the real answer was James. He was orchestrating this, and I didn't know why. One day, I found a letter in Lily's backpack. It was from James, scribbled in his messy handwriting. "You don't need her. Lily, she's holding you back. Come live with me full time. I'll give you everything." My hands shook as I read it. He was trying to erase me, to rewrite our family as if I'd never existed. I confronted him at his sleek new apartment, the kind of place that screamed midlife crisis with its leather couches and city views. "What are you doing to her?" I demanded. He smirked, leaning against the doorframe. "I'm giving her a better life. Sarah, you're stuck in the past." I wanted to scream, to shake him until he admitted what he was hiding, but he shut the door in my face. The turning point came on Lily's 11th birthday. I'd planned a party, invited her friends, even rented a bounce house. She didn't show up. I called James, my voice trembling with panic. "She's with me," he said coolly. She didn't want to come. I drove to his place, my heart pounding, and found Lily sitting on his couch, playing video games. She barely looked up when I walked in. "I want to stay with Dad," she said, her voice flat but firm. I felt like I'd been punched. I looked at James, searching for a hint of guilt, but his face was a mask. That night, I cried until my throat was raw, clutching that dusty teddy bear like it was the last piece of her I had left. I could have given up. Part of me wanted to, but something in me snapped into focus. I wasn't going to lose my daughter to his games. I started digging. James had always been secretive late-night calls he'd dismiss, trips he never explained. I trusted him once, but not anymore. I hired a private investigator, a gruff man named Tom who smelled like coffee and regret. He found things James had buried deep, offshore accounts, a second phone, letters to lawyers about fighting for full custody. And then, the bombshell: James had been married before me to a woman named Claire, who disappeared from his life under murky circumstances. No divorce records, no death certificate, just gone. Tom suspected foul play but couldn't prove it. James had covered his tracks too well. Armed with this, I went to court. I didn't want to drag Lily through a legal battle, but I had no choice. The judge was skeptical at first. James played the charming, devoted father to perfection. But I presented the evidence, the letters, the accounts, the questions about Claire. I didn't accuse him outright. I didn't need to. The doubt was enough. The judge ordered supervised visits for James and mandated family therapy for Lily and me. It wasn't a victory, not really, but it was a start. Therapy was brutal. Lily sat with her arms crossed, glaring at the floor, while I poured my heart out. The therapist, a kind woman with graying hair, gently coaxed Lily to speak. At first, it was just venom. "You lied to me," she'd say. "You made Dad out to be the bad guy." But slowly, the truth seeped in. James had told her I'd cheated, that I'd wanted the divorce, that I didn't love her enough. Lies, all of it. I watched her face crumple as she realized how he'd manipulated her. "I'm sorry, Mom," she whispered one day, tears streaming down her cheeks. I held her, feeling her small body shake, and for the first time in years, she felt like mine again. But James wasn't done. He stopped showing up for visits, claiming work kept him away. Then, one day, he vanished. No forwarding address, no note, just gone. Lily was devastated. She'd believed in him, despite everything, and now he'd abandoned her too. I tried to be strong for her, but inside, I was furious. What kind of man does this? What secrets was he hiding that were worth more than his own daughter? I'll never know. Tom thinks he's somewhere overseas, living under a new name. I hope he's haunted by what he's done, but men like James rarely are. Lily and I are rebuilding. It's slow, like piecing together a shattered vase. Some days, she's the little girl who loved bedtime stories, curling up beside me with a smile. Other days, she's quiet, staring out the window, mourning the father she thought she knew. I'm learning to be patient, to listen, to let her heal at her own pace. We talk about everything now: school, boys, even James. I don't hide the truth anymore, but I don't poison her against him either. She deserves to make her own sense of it. The house isn't silent anymore. Lily's laughter is back, tentative but growing stronger. We baked cookies together, and she started calling me Mom again. I don't know if we'll ever fully recover what we lost, but we're trying. That's what love does, it fights, even when it's bruised and battered. James took his secrets to wherever he's hiding, but he can't take our bond. Not anymore. What do you think? Was I right to fight for Lily, even when it meant exposing James's lies? Or should I have let her go, hoping she'd see the truth on her own? Share your thoughts. I want to hear them.